Okay, guys, sorry for the inconvenience. This is for your own consumption only. This is for the subject of the applied economics. So, may I adjust the typing. Medyo maliwanag. Okay, so our topic for today is I'm sorry, it's not for fundamentals of accounting, it's for the applied economics. Siguro may we adjust the topic. You just read na lang siguro yung mga natirang mga lesson, yung mga naunang lesson natin, so we can proceed here. So, or dito sa ating next up. Yeah. So ngayon, may I share screen? Ang ating topic for today is about the review of market analysis. Yeah, that's a lesson for itong ating topic for today. So we're waiting para mag-connect itong ating yan. Okay. So, review of market analysis. Yan, yung katanungan today. What is the review on market analysis? Yan, ano ba yung market analysis para sa atin? Yan. So, ngayon, itatakal natin yung market analysis. The review of market analysis. Una, may tinatawag tayong demand. Pag sinabing demand, ilan yung kailangan? Ano yung kailangan ng mga tao sa mga oras at panahon na ito? Ano ba yung kailangan nila? So una, ang demand daw ay refers sa amount, kung ilan yung goods and services na ang consumer o yung mamimili ay kailangan o willing na bilhin sa certain price. Sa isang sample dito, titingnan natin dito sa baba. Ang isang sample is the demand ng bigas. Yan. So later on, meron kayong sa worksheet ninyo, same as sa bigas. Within na lang siguro sa inyong barangay or sa inyong area, is magre-research kayo. So ngayon na lang po sa Goa dahil merong mga COVID-19 positive, etc. etc. Kung may mga tandahan lang na malapit sa inyo, then tanong-tanong na lang kayo kinani at kitatay ninyo kung ilan yung presyo ba ng bigas yung mga nakalipas na buwan, magtanong kayo sa kanila. Kasi meron ito doon sa worksheet ninyo. So dito, sa table 9, ini-state yung demand ng rice. Una, si customer A, meron tayong 5 customer. Pinangalan ng A, B, C, D, E. Yan. Yung presyo is 80 pesos. Yung presyo naman ng isa is 60. Meron naman 40, 20, and 0. Yan. Yung price ranges nila. So yung quantity o yung bilang is 0, 100, 200, 300, and 400. So pinapakita dito shows the quantity of rice consumer is willing to buy in a certain price. We see that the consumer is willing to buy 200 kilos at 40 pesos kilo yan. Yung C, willing siyang bumili ng 40 pesos per kilo, kaya niyang bumili o gusto niyang bumili ng 200 pesos. Yung D naman, 20, yung iba naman is 300 pesos. Pero, kapag nakita mo na mas meron naman the consumer who will reduce his or her consumption 100 kilos of price, increases 60 kilos. Yan. Pag nakita nyo, hindi ba yung price zero, syempre marami bibili niya, 400 kilos yung willing kasi libre na. Pero yung 20 pesos, 300. Bakit kaya yung mas mura, mas kakaunti, mas marami yung bumibili kasi nga mas mura siya. Siguro kung sa ngayon, ay ano na siya, NFA rice, yan, yung 20 pesos. Ngayon kasi ang pinakamababang kilo is 35 pesos. So, ang pinaka maganda ng klase is 39 pesos. Yung dito, pinapakita lang sa price range, na yung 80 pesos, wala nang bibili sa'yo kasi mahal na yung bigas na binebenta mo. Yung 60 pesos, ibibili pa rin, pero mas kakaunti yung consumption, siguro, ano na to? Wheel milled or commercial rice. Yung 40 pesos naman, ibibili ng 200 kilos, 20 pesos is 300 kilos, etc. So, doon na pinapakita, mas marami yung demand kapag mas mababa yung benta nung bigas. Same as sa atin, di ba? Mas maraming bumibili sa Hong, sa 101 at sa Novo kasi mas mura yung presyohan nila at available na lahat doon. Compare kung bibili pa sila sa ibang lugar. So maraming mas bibili doon. So ngayon, getting the slope of demand and chord. Ngayon, may formula tayo. Una, change in price saka change in quantity. Or ang explanation dyan is kung nakikita nyo is P2 minus P1 over Q2 minus Q1. So sabi dito, where P1 is the initial price. Yan. Yung P1 is yung initial niyang presyo. Initial price in Q1 is the quantity of product. Kung ilan yung ilang pieces, ilang kilo, and etc. yung bibilihin niya. And P2 is the final price and Q2 is the final quantity of product. Yan. So may comparison kayo doon sa dalawa. So given sa table 9, yung pinapakita dito sa taas, yan, si table 9, is example to get the slope of demand of rice. Una is 60 and 80. Yung P2 and Q2 niya, yan, yung P2 and Q2. Di ba pag sinabi P2 and Q2 is the final. Yan, nakita nyo. Final quantity and final price is the 60 pesos. Yan. Minus mo siya doon sa 80. Yung 80 pesos yung initial, ibig sabihin yung hangganan ng presyo niya. So 80, okay, 100 minus 0. Kasi sa 80, wala na mabibili na sa 80 pesos, 0 na yung quantity. Pero doon sa 60 pesos, yung final price is, saan yan? 100. So mangyari, 60 minus 80, negative 20. Then over 100, so mangyari negative 0.2. Kasi 0.20 divide 100, ang kinalabasan is 0.2. Anong ibig sabihin noon? The negative value of slopes inverse relation of price and quantity demand. So ibig sabihin the price elasticity demand determines the curve is step or flat. Dito mo malalaman after mo ma-determine. Yan. Remind ko kayo nung formula. Then after you ma-determine, alisin mo yung negative is 0.2, convert mo na lang into positive. Same as yung price elasticity of demand, percentage in change of quantity demand and percentage in price. So nangyari dito is QD2, quantity demand 2 and quantity demand 1 over average quantity demand over price final price minus initial price over average price. So yan. So makikita natin yung unit and quantity, 'di ba? Parang sample, percentage change in price, percentage change in quantity. Yung bumibili pag ang presyo mo, yan yung price. From 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a piso. May nagbakal, sa 5 manang mabakal, may 1 nagbakal, may 2 mabakal, may 3 mabakal, may 4 na mabakal. Same sa quantity, 5 mabakal sa 0. Diba? Pag mas libre, mas daming kumukuha. Pag may bayad, mas kumakaunti. Pag pamahal. Pag mura, mas madami. So yung slope mo is pag ganito. Diba? Pag ganyan. Slope. Yan. Dito yung sample natin doon sa taas. Nakita mo yung rice. Diba? Here is the price and here is the quantity. Yan. So ilalagay mo, here is the price and here is the quantity. So figure 8 shows the elastic demand curve to compute for elasticity daw ng price, yung elasticity, kung ilan yung hanggan na consumer are willing na bilhin. Ang demand doon sa iyong, sabi nga doon sa willing lang bilhin as a consumer is, sabi dito, quantity demand 2, same as formula sa taas, quantity demand 1. Average quantity demand over price, final price minus initial price 1 over average price. Ang kilalabasan ay, dito na kumuha ng sample, ang quantity demand 2 here is 3. Yan. Kita nyo? 3. Quantity demand 1. Yan. Quantity demand 1. If I'm not mistaken, is 2. To compute daw yung elasticity demand. Okay? 3 minus 2. 2 minus 5. Okay. Quantity demand 1. Okay. Then 2.5 average quantity demand. Dito sa gitna. Ayan, okay. Figure 8 is to compute two pairs of QS and PS. Let us say we get 2 and 3 and 3 and 2. Yan, sample nila. 2 and 3 and 3 and 2. Yan yung sample. Siguro sinample na dito because nasa gitna sila. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. The center of the 2. So 2 and 3 ang kinuha. So 3, quantity demand, 3 minus 2 and 2.5. Gitna ng dalawa. Then 2 minus 3 and 2.5, same as 2.5. Average quantity demand. Yan. So, nangyari is 3 minus 2 and divide 2.5 is 0.4 and 2 minus 3 divide 2.5 is negative 0.4. So, ang elasticity, yung elasticity is negative 1 or 1. Yan. From the negative, i-convert mo siya into positive conversion doon sa 1. So, dito, relatively inelastic demand curve. Yan. Paano mo naman nasabing inelastic demand curve? Quantity or price. Yan. Yung una nating hinanap is unitary elastic demand curve. So where may same siya, may nasa gitna, center, same na price na nagtutugma between doon sa dalawa. Kaya nga na-sample 2 and 3 and 3 and 2. Pero dito, iba-iba. 10, 60, 15, and 40. Ang tawag doon is relatively inelastic demand curve. Ilan ba yung demand ng tao? So change price, percentage is a change price over the percentage in change in quantity. Yan, sample. 0, 100, 580, 1060, 1540, 20 and 20, and 25 and 0. So, show relatively inelastic. To compute for price elasticity demand, select two pairs of QS and PS. Yan. Sabihin na natin ang nakuha. Let us say we get, sabi dito, 2020 and 25.0. 2020 and 25.0. Yan yung kinuha nila according to the example. So, 25 minus 20 over 22 and 5. Yan. Hanapin nyo lang yung gitna between the two. 20 and 25. Anong gitna nila? Is 22.5. Between na yun sa ano ha. Yung range between na doon sa pagitan ng dalawa. So, ang pagitan kasi nila is 5. So, 2.5, 2.5. 22.5. Then, 0. minus 10. Average is 10. Yan. Pinaka-average daw is 10. Average price. So, 0.22 over negative 2. So, ang kilalabasan is negative 0.11 or 0.11. Inelastic. So, relatively elastic curve, pag ganun kasi siya, pataas. Yan. So, relatively elastic curve, same, yung formula. Sample 0, 5, 2, 4, 4, 3, 6, 2, 8, 1, and 10, and 0. Yan. So, let us say naman daw, sa compute ng price elasticity demand, magsiselect ka lang ng two pairs. Let us say, ang nakuha nila is 0 and 5 and 2 and 4. Here, 0 and 5, 2 and 4. Pero para silang relatively inelastic demand. Dito, inelastic. Dito, elastic. So, kinuha nila the first two between the two doon sa column. So, 2 minus 0 over 1 and 4 minus 5 over 4.5. Yan, yung pagitan between 0 and 2 is 1, ha? Same as 4 minus 5. Ang pagitan between 4 and 5, di 1 din. Pero ang kinuha nila is 4.5 para may 0.5. So, 2 minus 1, 2 minus 0, 2 divide 1 is 2 pa din. And 4.5, 4 minus 5 is 1 divide 4.5 because negative 0.22. 2 divide negative 0.22. Ang kinalabasan is negative 9.099 or 9.09 elastic. Yan. So ngayon, perfectly elastic demand. Nakikita yung difference of graphs. Inelastic kasi ang kinuha mo dito, relatively yung pinakamahal. Dito man, kinuha mo yung pinakamura. Mataas sa price. Mataas sa price ay yung dalawang column. Dito naman is perfectly elastic demand curve is yung pantay. So hanapin mo, sabi dito sa figure 11 shows a perfectly elastic curve to compute the price. Ang kinuha nila 0.5. Asan yun? 0.5 and 2.5. 2 and 5. Yan, quantity. Pipili lang kayo lagi ng dalawang pairs. Na-example lang yun kasi depende doon sa graph. 0, price is 5. Yan. Quantity and price is here. So 5 here and 0 here. So 2 here. Ano yung 2? 2 and 5. So perfectly shows same formula, 2 minus 0. Pagitan ng 2 and 0 is 1. According pa rin, 5 minus 5. Wala namang pagitan between the 2. So 5. So 2 divides 0. Infinity, perfect elastic silang dalawa. So perfectly inelastic. Yung una perfectly is elastic. Ang perfectly inelastic ay ito naman. So lahat 3 ang quantity. Pantay-pantay. So ibig sabihin nito, lahat ng quantity, whichever is price, whether 0 or 10, ay may bibili. So ang tawag doon is perfectly inelastic demand curve. So figure shows same formula, QD2 minus QD1 over average QD over P2 minus P1 over average P. So ang P is price and QD is quantity demand. Then 3 minus 3, yan. Let us say 310 and 38 ang nakuha nila. Same na sa taas. 3 minus 3 over 3 and 8 minus 10 over 9. 0, negative 0.22. Ang tawag dyan is perfectly inelastic. Yan. Kasama ba ito sa exam? Which is not. Kasi alam ko may ihirapan kayo dito sa pagkukompute ng price inelasticity at elasticity. Alam ko mga economist lang. Kahit ako din hindi ko magets masyado ito. Pero I think ano lang siya. It is an illustration of defining of the curves. Yan. Kung ating makikita. Yan. Unitary elasticity. Kung para siyang research or tool to survey the people kung ilan yung willing na i-consume ng mga tao, whichever is the price is. So according to the table, ganun yung gagawin natin. To change in price yan, dapat mag negative 1. Ito naman mag-over sa 1. Its slope, which is pantay, infinite. Then yung slope is 0, which is ganun ngayon nangyari. Perfectly inelastic. So ngayon, shifts in demand and its determinants. So unang-una, so quantity demand, affected, talagang pinaka-affected niyan is the income. Most of the time, increase in income yields an increase in demand. Siyempre, pag lumalaki yung income mo, tataas din yung demand mo. Kasi may panggagasto ka. We call this the normal goods. Normal lang naman yun bilang sa tao. There are also what are considered luxury and basic goods yun. May normal goods, which ang mga normal goods is the wants, not the wants, but the needs. Ibig sabihin yung pang araw-araw mong pangailangan, which is the food, which is the shelter, which is yung damit, and etc. Meron namang tinatawag na basic goods. Meron din additional needs, lalo na sa mga meron kayong lolo't lola na kailangan ng pang-maintenance na gamot. So it is an additional. And etc. for medication. So needs na din siya. And sometimes electronic materials are needs also. Sample is the evolution of needs. Is technologies like computer, cell phone, kasi ngayon is because of the pandemic, we cannot interact same as we don't have a face-to-face classes. So kailangan talaga ng online. Kailangan. So I think laptops and other technologies are needs as of this day. Kailangan na siya ngayon. Doon sa mga places na may online classes. If walang online classes, so di siya needs as of today. Then, sample daw nito, yung luxury naman, ibig sabihin, mga wants mo na yon. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo naman siya basic need everyday na kailangan mo siya unless na it is a part of your job. So, it is a need. If not, it is a luxury. Ibig sabihin, naggasto ka to have a certain material like that na hindi mo naman everyday na ginagamit. So ngayon, given the same example, increase income 20%, increase consumption by 20%. Sa income yan ha, the rise for the consumer is basic normal. Yan. Kapag nag-increase ng 20%, yung sweldo, then nag-increase din ng 20%, yung presyo ng bigas, normal pa rin yun. Diba? Hindi mo masabing nagmahal siya. Hindi, kasi nag-increase. Unless na nag-increase ang presyo ng bigas at hindi nag-increase ang iyong income o sweldo mo or whatever, whether passive income sa business mo, etc. Hindi. Yon? Hindi normal yon. For some goods, an increase income yields decrease in consumption. Ayun. This means consumer tends to give up this good and get a preferred good. Yan. Meron. Kunyari, sabi na natin nga kanina, nagtaas yung presyo ng mga bilihin ngayon. Sabihin yung karne. Yan. Hindi sa bibili ka ng pork, meat, hindi ka makakabili. Ang bibili mo na lang is chicken kasi mas mura kasi hindi naman nag-increase yung salary mo. If nag-increase yung salary mo or other income mo, passive income and etc. from your business, from your investment and etc. Yun. Sabi na natin na if whether nag-increase siya, nag-increase din yun, normal ang tawag doon. So kapag hindi suit doon sa willingness or capacity mo to purchase a certain goods, ay mag-give up ka ng product. Yan, kasi hindi capable or hindi kaya ng inyong purchasing power or yung capacity mong bumili sa product. Ngayon, taste and preference. Hindi lahat nagbabago ang taste and preference. Ibig sabihin, Kinship Demand Corp. An example is you prefer chocolates and roses sa Valentine's, di ba? Usually, nagagamit lang mga flowers kapag November 1, same as pag Valentine's Day. If walang Valentine's Day, November 1, aan mo naman ang roses unless you have an extra money or marami kang pera pambili para to design a garden in your area or para palumitaan mo. If not, hindi ka bibili noon. Bibili ka nandoon pag seasonal. Same as yung pag Christmas, bibili ka lang ng Christmas light pag seasonal. Pag New Year, bawal na. Ngayon nga, bawal na ang mga fireworks. So may fireworks naman pero certain lang sa isang area, pero yung mga firecrackers and etc. mga materials na ginagamit na paputok when it comes sa New Year ay paalam ko pagbabawal na. So yung taste and preference talaga nag-evolve din. So price-related goods, substitutes and complements, ayun. Compare, let us say, sabi dito, si A and B are substitutes of price of A increases, di ba? Kung may Coca-Cola, kung may Pepsi, and then meron kayong RC Cola, tatlong soft drinks. Kung may dala kang 30 pesos for a 1 liter. Ang Coca-Cola, ang worth niya is 45 pesos sa isang litro. Ang Pepsi Cola ay worth niya is 43.50 sa isang litro. Yung RC Cola is 35 pesos. Ang bibilhin mo is the RC Cola kasi magdadagdag ka na lang ng 5 pesos. Kung yun lang yung dala mo. Mas prepared mo na kasi same lang naman na soft drinks yun. Kaya lang, yung purchasing power mo, ang aabutin mo lang is from the RC Cola. So give up mo muna yung whether sa Pepsi or whether doon sa Coca-Cola. So changes in speculation. Ngayon, consumer speculation determines change in demand. Ibig sabihin, the H1N1 flu caused the purchase flu vaccines. If the spread of disease was abated, the demand for it also decrease. Yan. So ibig sabihin, for example nito, may COVID-19 tayo ngayon, so ang mga binibili ngayon ng mga local government unit, even the national government, even other countries, ay mga vaccines. If the COVID-19 decreases the cases, same as, masabi na natin na totally na nawala na siya, the purchase of the vaccines also decreases. Same as on the other vaccines. Diba? On the other vaccines na ginagamit. So it will decrease according doon sa need niya within an area or sa need within a season. Hindi season, yung speculation mismo. So the population also affected siya. So like income, population size also influence demand. Yan. Yung populasyon, nag-influence rin siya ng demand. Growth of means increase the size of demand. Kapag mas dumami yung tao, mas dadami rin yung demand. Di ba? Pag madami ang tao, mas kailangan nila ng mas maraming food. Mas kailangan ng mas maraming damit. Mas kailangan ng mas maraming construction materials kasi mas may magpapagawa ng bahay. Mas nadami yun magluluto ng mga kakanin because mas marami yung bibili. For example, daw dito, sample is increase in number of families in Metro Manila results greater demand for goods like bread, even the prices do not change. So, ganun. Yan yung sample niyan. Yan, shift, demand curve. Dati from here, yan, sabihin na natin this is the price and this is the quantity. Yung quantity is the bilang ng mga bumibili. Yan yung original na bumibili dito sa Metro Manila or sabihin na natin dito sa Bicol. Dahil dumami yung tao, mas dumami yung demand kahit na same ang price niya. Yan, nakita nyo nag-adjust. So ngayon, sa figure 1.4 naman, ganun pa din. Pwedeng yung demand curve ay mas kumonti. Sabihin na natin, 'di ba, with ngayong pandemic, mas dumami yung umuwi dito sa Bicol. So mangyari dito sa Bicol is mas dadami yung demand ng product, same lang yung price. Sa Manila, dahil yung mga taga-probinsya ay nagsiuwian dito sa kanilang mga provinces, so kukonti yung demand ng, ayan, ito na yung magiging sample sa figure 1.4. Nakuha nyo yung figures. Mas kukunti yung demand. Diba? Pero same lang yung price. So sa supply, ito naman sa supply centers a relationship daw sa price and quantity supplied. Yung supply is yung kakayanan. Yung una pinag-aralan ng demand. Ilan ba yung willing na bilhin ng mga tao purchase? Kaya lang ngayon, yung demand maapektuhan siya ng supplies kasi kung wala ng supply, wala na rin makukuha yung demand ng tao kasi wala na siyang supply. Sample na naman here is sample. Kinontinue. FGHIJ may price 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Nakita niyo yung supply. Yung bumibili is dumarami. Yan. Quantity. Dumarami. 400 sa price sa 80 pesos, 400 na katao yung gustong bumili noon. So 20, 40, 60, and 80. Sabi nito, table 1.5 suggests the quantity of rice producers is willing to sell. We see that the seller is willing to sell 200 kilos. Yan. Yan. At 40 pesos per kilo. He will see increase his quantity supply by 100 kilos if prices increase by 2 price increases. QS's willingness to sell the product also increases, holding all the factors constant. This also known as law of supply. Yan. So dito sa 40 pesos, mas marami bumili 200 pesos. Sa 60 pesos, bumibili ng 300 kilos. Sa 80 pesos, bumibili ng 400 kilos. 100 pesos, bumibili ng 500 kilos. So sa 40 pesos, because of this increase, as nakita natin pa-increase siya, even the prices ay pamahal. So kailangan nila magdadagdag pa rin sila ng mga supplies kasi mas dumarami yung demand ng bigas. So getting the slope, dito naman tayo sa computation. So change in price or change in quantity or initial price minus, final price minus initial price, which is P2 minus P1, and final quantity minus quantity, initial quantity. Yung sample dito sa ating nakuha, ang nakuha nilang slope is 40 and 20. Yan. So dito kahit mag-increase yung price, marami pa rin yung bibili. So 40 minus 20 and 200 minus 100. Yan, 200 and 100. 20 over 100, which is 0.2. The price elasticity of supply determines the supply curve is steep or flat. Ayun. So dito naman, compare naman a different graphs. Ayun, changes in quantity equals changes in price, percentage changes in price equals percentage change in quantity. So 0, 1 to 5 and 0, 1 to 5. Same price and same quantity. Ayan, QS minus Q1. Tandaan nyo na lang yung formula above. I already sent to you the modules. 1 minus 0, pagitan ng dalawa is 0.5. Then 1 minus 0, same in 2 in 2 and 1. Elastic sila. Then, relatively inelastic supply curve. Ayun. So, relatively elastic supply curve is figure shows relatively inelastic supply curve to compute for the price of elasticity. 2 pairs QSPS, we get 1280 and 18 and 160. Sample. Kita ba? Okay. 0, ayan. Quantity, 1, 10, 20, 40, 80, and 160. Mapansin mo, mas maraming bumibili doon sa 160. So, what is the difference between the two? So, 18 minus 12, ayun. Nakuha nila, sample is 18 and 12. Ayan. Mas maraming bumibili dito eh. Maraming supply. 160 minus 180 over 120. Pagitan ng dalawa. So 0.4, 0.67 elastic. Inelastic pa rin yung dalawa. Kasi sabi inelastic, bakit mas maraming bumibili doon sa mas mahal? Nakita nyo. So inelastic siya. So relatively elastic supply curve. 0, 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ayan. Ano naman nakita nyo? Ganun pa rin. Mas dumami yung bumibili kaysa mas mahal na price. Pero sabi dito, ang sample na ko ay 16 and 4, 32 and 5. So 36 minus 16, 32 minus 16, over 24, difference between the two. Kalagitnaan ng dalawa. Then 5 minus 4, 4.5, 0.7, 0.22 equals 3.01, which is elastic siya. Elastic in a way, bakit siyang elastic in a way? Kasi, ano sabi dito? Changes in price, changes in quantity. Mas mababa yung price, mas mataas pa rin yung quantity kahit mas mababa yung price. Then, perfectly elastic supply curve. Yan, pantay-pantay. 0 to 1 till 10, quantity, and 5. Pantay-pantay na 5. Then nakita yung difference. On the demand, yung nakita natin kanina is on the right side is the price and the quantity is on the left side. And here naman is the quantity on the right side and the price is on the left side. So QS minus Q1. Yan. Same procedure doon sa supply formula. Let's say 0.5 and 2.5 yung nakuha nila. Yan. Yung mas mababa, ganoon din yung bumibili. So 2 minus 0 over 1, 5 minus 5 over 5, 2, 0, infinity, perfectly elastic. So yan, perfectly inelastic. Hanapin nyo naman. Same procedure sa taas. Sabihin natin nakuha is 310 and 38. Same yung quantity pero mas mahal. Yan. Na price sila bumili. So QS2 minus QS1 average QS over P2 minus P1 over average P. 3 minus 3 over 3, 2 minus 0 over 1. Pag wala namang pagitan, it's 3. Pagitan ng dalawa is 1, 0.2. Perfectly inelastic. So ngayon, shifts of supply and its determinant. Kanina na pag-aralan natin yung demand. Ngayon naman yung sa supply. Unang-una, prices of inputs or costs of producing goods. If one or more input to price decreases, the supply curve shifts to right because it's cheaper to produce the said product. 10 years ago, SIM card cost 1.5, but they now cost less than 50 pesos because of cheaper input cost. Yan. Bakit nga ba na-apekto ng price? Mapapansin nyo, yung baga SIM card, nung una niya labas, mas mahal siya. Ngayon, 50 pesos, 25 pesos, 40, 35 pesos, meron ka ng SIM card. Pag mga bagong labas, mahal. Like yung sample, kung alam niyo yung Gumo SIM card. Yung Gumo SIM card is worth 299 pesos. But now, 199 pesos. Pero later on, kapag kinomercialize na nila yung SIM card, ang mangyari niyan is mas mumura siya. Baka mabot sa 50 pesos and 40 pesos. May SIM card ka na. So that is the effect of prices, inputs, or cost of producing the goods. Pag mas maraming nagpo-produce, mas mumura siya kasi mas maraming mapagbibilhan. Sa technology, efficient production through the use of state-of-art equipment shifts the supply curve to right because of an increase in output. For example, come 1980s daw, a printing press can produce calling cards at around 1 pesos to 2 pesos. On the colors used, type set was used as blank card, manually operated. But until entire set is finished, today you can print your own calling card using a computer. Like example, itong calling card noon, dahil hindi uso yung wala pa naman mga printers noon, like mga L220, L3120, Epson, Brothers Soap, Canon, etc. Ngayon, papagawa ka pa naman sa typeset sa isang company para lang magkaroon ka ng calling card. Ngayon, pwede ka nang gumawa. Bibili ka lang ng printer mo and then as long as na hindi na-reset, marami ka pang ink, maganda pa performance ng printer mo, kaya mo makaproduce ng kay raming o mas marami bilang ng calling card na hindi ka na gumagasto ng 1 pesos and 2 pesos each. Ngayon, pag naroon ka na nung printer, kahit ilan, pwede ka mag-print. Yan. Gagastusan mo lang yung ink. Pero malaking bagay yun. So taxes and subsidies, yan, sin taxes to cost of producing cigarettes, spirits and liquors. Yan. Mas nagmamahal yung a certain product because of taxes. Like example, because of tinatawag na sin tax, yung mga additional taxes na ipinapatong sa inumin at sa sigarilyo, mas nagmahal siya. Diba noon, nakakabili ka yata ng piso lang yata or dos or salapi, 'di ba? Alam ko 50 cents noon, so may sigarilyo ka na. Pero because of taxes, mas daragdag sigarilyo ngayon is 5 pesos, 10 pesos, which is a good thing. Kasi mas kakaunti ang magbibisyo, pero parang wala naman nag-change between the two. mas ginastosan lang nung okay naman yon, mas pumapasok no tax sa government, kaya lang mas gumasto yung nagtitake ng sigaret at ng inom. Well, that's it. So number of sellers or firms na in industry, if firm decides to increase the size or add more stores, outlets, then this will a wrong run ship the supply curve. On the right examples are food stalls. Ayan, kita na natin. There an increase in popularity like shawarma. Ayan, nag-increase sila ngayon. Then meron ding mga kainan ngayon na mas kumonti because of popularity. Yan, diba? Ano ba yung mga sikat ngayon? Ang mga sikat ngayon ng mga products is face mask, face shield, ano pa ba? Alcohol, yan, sabon, sanitizers, hand soaps, vitamins, yan. Yung mga in-demand ngayon ng mga products. So ngayon, we going to analyze the equilibrium changes of determining prices and quantity. Ilan ba yung prices, ilan yung quantity. Yan. In analyzing equilibrium, we shall assume the following scenarios. Una, sa increase ng supply while demand remains unchanged. Yan. Dumarami yung supply pero yung demand kakaunti. Kabaliktaran naman sa number 2. Nag-decrease yung supply pero yung demand hindi nagbago. Yung una, increase of supply pero yung demand nananatili. Pangalawa, decrease sa supply pero yung demand nananatili. Pangatlo, increase sa demand pero yung supply, tama ba? Increase sa demand pero yung supply nananatili. Tapos yung decrease sa demand pero yung supply nananatili. Increase sa demand, increase sa supply, decrease sa demand, decrease sa supply. Nakita nyo? Increase sa supply, decrease sa demand, decrease sa supply, increase sa demand. To analyze daw yung figure, alamin natin yung mga sa figure 23, nakita nyo, supply and demand remains unchanged. Suppose there is an increase in sellers of mangoes in the summer. What happens to the market in equilibrium? Yan, i-analyze natin siya. Yan yung illustration. Ano kaya yan? Ano yan? Ano to? Ano to? At ano yan? Yan. So illustrate the basic diagram of supply and demand initial equilibrium. Point A. Supply and demand. Yan, si point A. Ngayon, determine whether demand, supply, or both it shifts there are the right to left. Label equilibrium. B or C, multiple shifts. Decrease effects in price and quantity. Ayun. So we will analyze. Madugo-dugo to. Analyze number of sellers shift supply curve from point A. Ayan. Nakita nyo ba sa A? Pwede naman natin yan. Lagyan natin ng parang pointers. Kung makita yung pointers natin dito. Hindi ko makita. Ayun. Ito yata. Not mistaken. Ayan. Yan. Ang increase sellers yan. Si increase daw ng sellers. Ulit. Yan. So, ayun. An increase the number of sellers shifts the supply curve and right A where equilibrium. So initial price is 50 and quantity 1.7 to point B. Equilibrium is P2, 20 and 700. So ang illustration natin sa pinakauna is mas mataas yung demand kapag mas mababa yung price. So yun. So 300 to 500. Constant increase supply will demand remain constant. Result in decrease of price of mangoes 50 to 20, increase its quantity from 500 to 700. Yan. Pag masag mura, mas dumarami yung bumibili. Yan, nakita nyo? 500 to 70. Shows decrease supply demand unchanged. Hindi ko makita yung tools dito na na pointer. Hindi ko siya makuha. Hindi ko maituro tuloy yung ayun. Figure. An increasing cost of production is making bread will shift the supply curve to the left from point where initial. Ayun na. So, point B, where the equilibrium P2 90 and Q2 300, the decrease in supply and demand will remains constant result increase of price spread from 70 to 90. Ayan, may mga mixture na siya nung ibang product in quantity 500. Dito sa B, kung titingnan natin, P2 93, decrease. Kumunti yung supply pero yung demand na dumarami. So magkakaroon ng imbalance between the two. Figure 25, in demand while supply remains unchanged, suppose the average income increase. What happens to price and quantity of smartphones if supply remain constant? Sa figure 25. Yes, yan. Supply remain constant. Yung demand, increase sa demand, pero yung supply unchanged. So increase in income will shift the demand to curve from right na point A where initial equilibrium is 10,000, yan, and quantity 1,000 point where new equilibrium is P because 1,000 Q2 is 1,1. Increase in demand while supply remains constant results increase in the price of smartphones from 10,000 to 12,000 and increase of quantity to 1,000 to 1,1. Bakit? Kasi nga mas kakaunti yung supply. Ibig sabihin, magiging siyang limited. So kapag yung smartphone ay madaming demand, maraming bibili, kakaunti naman yung naisusupply niya. So ibig sabihin, mas magmamahal yung mga products. Sa pangalawa, figure 26, ayan, tingnan nyo na lang. Demand while change taste and preference for decoration declined happens quantity twist man lang to supply remains constant. So dito, sample lang naman dito sa figure 26 is ang initial equilibrium niya is 1,500. To the point, new equilibrium is 700 to 100. Kaya mapapansin nyo yung mga decoration ng Christmas mas mura o mas cheaper pag hindi Christmas. Kasi hindi siya kailangan. Diba? Nakita nyo? Mas magiging cheaper siya. Pero when it comes na Christmas season, magsisimula yung September, mas nagmamahal yung mga amount or price ng mga Christmas decoration. Yan. Decrease in demand while supply remains constant. Dito naman, increase in supply and demand. Yan. Figure 27, tingnan nyo ng 27. Increase in supply and demand, taste and preference domestic flights. Ayun, sample na tayo. Simultaneous increase in supply due to a price rollback in fuel. Yan, increase in demand due to an increase in income will result a shift demand to supply to the right. Yan, yung demand mas dadami kasi mas increase yung income. Yung mga flights naman ngayon, mas mag-cheaper yung benta nila kasi may rollback daw doon sa mga oil na ginagamit or gasoline na ginagamit ng mga aeroplano. So the cheaper the gasoline or the fuels, the cheaper the price they can offer to their consumers. So mangyayari, it's decrease or mangyayari is increase in supply, mag-i-increase din siya ng demand. So, 152 in courses yan. Figure 28 naman, decrease in supply and demand. Yan. Decrease in supply and demand, taste preference for pugon pandesal. Yan. Sample sa pugon pandesal, this is but due to the decrease in taste and preference result. Igor, hindi na nila type yung pugon pandesal. Hindi na sila masyado sa pandesal. Dahil marami nagsisilabasan na ngayon na different na klaseng mga tinapay. May panligaspi, maligaya, etc. Then nagsisilabasan na, nagkakaroon na ng mga gumagawa ng cakes and pastries, nagkakaroon na rin ng mga Goldilocks, ng mga Red Ribbon, and etc. So, it will decrease also. Uso-uso na ngayon yung mga tinapay, cheese pandesal, and etc. Yung ubi pandesal, and etc. Vanilla pandesal. So, nangyari affected yung pugon, which is the original na pandesal, decrease in supply, it will also dictate decrease in demand. So, di-decrease ka na ng demand, magdi-decrease din ang supply. So, figure 39, yan, decrease in supply and increase in demand. Kakaunti mo yung supply mo, ang dami-dami namang demand. So, sample is the grapes. Due to an increase in cost will shift supply curve yan, from left while an increase in demand due to an increase in taste preference. Yan. So, from 250, si 1 naging 300, decrease in quantity 100 to 50. An increase will further increase price from 300 to 400 but the quantity will go back to 50 to 100. Mas kaunti, di ba? Kasi kaunti yung supply, increase yung demand. Mas magmamahal din siya. So figure 30, increase sa supply, decrease sa demand. Madami yung supply, kaunti yung demand. Sabihin natin dahil sa pork, yung preference sa pork, or dahil meron ngayong tawag doon, yung virus, swine flu. Yan. So mangyayari doon sa swine flu, mas kakaunti yung bibili ng pork meat, maghahanap sila ng ibang poultry or magiging vegetarian or other type na pwedeng lutuin or mag-fish na lang because sa takot na may virus. So, mangyayari, mas magmumura yung karne. Ang mangyayari naman is, magmumura yung karne kasi kakaunti na lang yung demand. Hindi katulad ng dati. So, mangyari 200 to 150 an increase quantity, 200 to 300 a decrease in demand, further decrease price. Yan, sabihin na natin, bumababa yung price from 150 and 100. Will bring back quantity from 300 to 200 kapag tumaas ulit yung or nag-increase ulit yung demand. So, sa equilibrium point, determining sample, ayan, A hanggang J, 80, 60, 40, 20, and etc. 0, 100 yan. X sila. May pataas at may pababa. Sa computing sa equilibrium, MD, QD, A plus MSQS. Ayun. Sa table 1.5 and table 9. Yan. So, ang explanation nila, QD is a quantity demanded and QS is a quantity supply. P is the price, MD is the slope of demand curve, intercept is the QD, and 0 MS is the slope of the curve. Intercept is QS if 0. Yan, from table 9, 15, and figure 31, we can solve the slope of demand. Yan, nag-X na. From 80 pesos to 400 ang pinakamataas sa demand. Tama ba? Yes. Ganon din siya. So, ayan. Demand sa schedule of rise. Sample na yan. Yun, yan. So, combine ng equilibrium. So, ano ba dito? 1, 2, 4, 5. So, ang pinakamataas sa kanilang price is 60 and 80. Yan, over 100. Sa quantity, ang pinakamababa is 0. So, negative 20 over 100, 0.2, 0.2, 40, 20, 20 over 100, and 0.2. So, referring sa 9 and 15 and 31, figure 31, ayan, yung pinakita natin kanina. 0.2 ang supply fraction and 80 minus, kasi yung pinakamataas sa price is 8. Kalagitnaan na price dito sa table 9 is 80 minus 0.2 Q, 0.4 Q equals 80 and Q for quantity over 200. So, well, let's proceed. Actually, di naman niya lalabas sa exam ninyo. It is just an analysis about economics. So P, price, will substitute values for either the demand or function, supply function. 0.2 over 200 or equals 40, or 80 minus 0.2, 280 minus 40 or 40. Yan. Hanapin nyo lang yung equilibrium. Kasi ito, equilibrium niya is 40. Pag ganun pataas yung demand. Yan. So 40 siya. Pinakamataas is 80 and 400. Yan. So surplus, shortage, and government intervention. Ayun. Di ba ngayon usually napapakinggan ninyo sa mga balita kapag may nagmamahal na isang presyo, di ba, to the rescue si DTI. May tinatawag silang word, ang tawag nila is price freeze. Yan. Ibig sabihin, no need mong magtaas ng presyo at mas better magbaba ka ng presyo pero hindi ka lang tataas. So the government will freeze. So paano nagkakaroon ng price freeze? Di ba? Baka sabihin malulugi naman na niya kami kasi ganito, ganyan. So ganito yung ginawa nila. In a competitive market, a surplus shortage may occur. There are movement changes between surplus experience when the price of good is above the equilibrium price. Yan. So ibig sabihin, kung ang presyuhan ninyo is 100 by the whole year, then pag seasonal, yung talagang kailangan na yung amount of money. So tataasan mo is 120, 150. 20 pesos or between 20 pesos to 50 pesos mo, ang tawag doon is surplus. Kitang-kita ka na doon. So other than doon, so 100 na same price na ginawa mo. So price floor is P2 and P3 yan. So figure 3.2 above equilibrium price. Example, government sets Price floor of Polar, P2 higher than P. There should be suppliers willing to produce and sell the said commodity. On the other hand, shortage occurs when quantity demand. Merong price twist, meron namang shortages. Exists the quantity supplied happens when prices is below the equilibrium level. Like this, price ceiling mo lang 15 pesos pero dati is 25 pesos. Just like nangyayari ngayon sa mga palay natin because of rice tariffication, mas bumaba ang presyo ng local rice dito sa Pilipinas. So that's it. So, yan. Kaya nagkakaroon ng shortage. Yan. Price ceiling resulting. May sample sila. Example, P1 one-way MRT ticket 25, government sets a price ceiling ng 15 pesos. What would happen next? The MRT can accommodate 20,000 passengers at 25. If government set a price ceiling at 15, then MRT can accommodate 10,000 passengers. However, there are 30,000 passengers to Art Manila. It means that there are shortage of 20,000 passengers who are unable to ride to MRT. So, mas may hirapan. Diba? Yung sample daw dito, kung sa 25 pesos sa ticket, government set ceiling price of MRT 25 pesos, pero ang government nag-set ng 15 pesos. Ang MRT can accommodate 20,000 passenger, pero ang MRT at 25, if government price in 15, then MRT can only accommodate 10,000 because mas mababa na yung presyo, mas marami silang maintenance sa gagawin. However, 30,000 passes Manila, so it means 20,000 unable to ride daw sa MRT. So nakita nyo yung difference between the price and resulting in shortage. Kapag mas mababa yung price within sa LRT, mas kakaunti yung may papasok nila doon sa train. Kapag mas mataas yung ticket price, mas mataas, mas marami may pasok nila sa train. Yan ang tawag doon. Is para ma-cope up nila yung price and capacity between the two. So, yun. So, wala naman yung topic natin. Then I will also send a link for the 2 lessons again para dito sa ating applied economics. So wait na lang kayo doon sa mga links na isasend ko, and then I will upload this for YouTube, and this is for your consumption only doon sa mga grade 11 students na may subjects sa akin. So thank you very much and God bless.